Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean,
Because that would be stupid.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
I approve this message.
I really, 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 really don't see Apple ever doing that. I am Nadella.
I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to this special edition of our Calling All Platforms. This is our Wishlist edition,
Yeah.
or whatever we want to call it.
We should call it X.
Wishlist X.
I approve this message. No, let's call it Wishlist 10. Anyway, moving on. So we're basically what we wanted to do is we wanted to go over our wish list from last year. We posted on December 31st. Is it when we posted them? Of what we wanted for 2017, what we wanted to see, what our wishes were, and then maybe make some new ones for 2018. So if you go back onto our website, we will have links in the show notes if you want to check out our list. But bring it up on here. I'll go ahead and start with mine. The three things that I put on there, they're actually the same three things that I want to see even better. Number one is Play Anywhere for Xbox. That was the big thing that was coming out, and Microsoft has done so good. They're pushing really well with this Play Anywhere.
A lot of good stuff there.
I think the Play Anywhere, though, that I'm talking about, which wasn't defined before, is actually the cross-play anywhere, meaning with different devices or just everyone can play together as much as you can with, obviously, the different devices, different operating systems. So, for example, the big one right now is Minecraft that is pretty much anything can connect except for Sony PlayStation at the moment as well as the Nintendo Switch, which that has more promising coming soon. They did say it was coming, I believe they said this year, but they haven't said it's going to be pushed next year to be so that we can all play on a realm or together yet, but they just haven't got there, which take your time, make it good.
Yep.
And then I can get my Nintendo World. Yay! In Minecraft. But no, they've also added to where the crossplay for a lot of their, I guess you could call them first-party games. Number one example is Halo Wars 2. They actually said it is now crossplay with PC and console, which is awesome. Before, when you would say Xbox Play Anywhere, normally you would think, oh, you could do that already. But now they actually are defining these things.
That just meant that if you bought it on the console, you got it on the PC. Or
Correct.
If you bought it on the PC, you got it on the console. Not necessarily that you could play across that gap.
Which we've been finding with many games that say they can, but now...
But they've been bringing it to more and more games throughout the year. And so you're saying that's your wish for this next year, for 2018, is
to extend that
more cross-platform.
Let's get more cross-platform as opposed to just Play Anywhere.
Yeah, and there's actually a couple developers that are doing this with just their games. Which Rocket League is one.
Yes.
You can actually now it's on the Nintendo Switch, and you can now play with everybody now.
Yes.
And you can actually say which ones you want to play, check mark, or turn it off, which is a good thing. Gears of War 4, they established to where PC can now play with, or they've always had the crossplay, but now you can do unranked against each other. There was always a cooperative to play with each other. Now it's
to that stuff.
Now it's against each other.
Everything.
And I think you can do that in Halo Wars 2 as well now, which is for competition. Because a lot of times, for obvious reasons, keyboard and mouse just works the controller. It just does, and that's just what it is. I mean,
we got lots of buttons and also really fast tracking.
Yes, I mean a mouse versus joystick. I mean that's
it's always going to be the mouse.
So that's one thing I want to see is that just continuing, just pushing forward with that
for sure,
with the cross-play aspect of Play Anywhere, and that's what I'm excited to see. I mean, Minecraft has been going back to it. It's been amazing being someone that's just on we've got, for example, on our realm we've got someone that's on iOS. We have someone that's on Android. We have someone that's on Xbox, Windows 10 PC. It's coming from everywhere. So, and it's just fun that we'd be like, oh, I'm on, sweet, and you're done. And then there's no oh, because you're on this, you can't do this. It's just, oh, here it is, everything.
Yep.
And that's exciting.
Yep.
I love it. And that's just giving them more data to complete this, and it's just going to be better. And I'm hoping more of that comes. And what I'm really hoping, and I've I've issued this before, and it's not to go against anybody, but what I'm really hoping is Sony would hop on this bandwagon. The reason why is because I would love to have the actual console war.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking this entire time. That's what I want with this.
Love it.
Like actual console war.
Yes.
Like tournament, PlayStation, the best of PlayStation versus the best of Xbox.
Yep.
I mean, marketing alone, like that would just, I would see both sales go up with that. Like, because I don't know. I look at that and I'm like, that would be so fun. Rally against behind your platform. Yep. Obviously, PC couldn't be in that because they would just dominate.
Yeah, you leave them out. That's
obviously,
fine.
but that still leaves. I mean, you got PC players playing PC players. I mean, that's the whole thing. But this, like, they have their own ecosystem. I love to be like the top Overwatch players for Xbox versus top Overwatch players or Rocket League or whatever. Yep. I mean, I would rally behind that.
And you know what? If you guys, like Microsoft, Sony, if you guys want to play it off this way, you set up the whole console war, you get all the hype train going, you start the competitions, and then at the very end, you do an Marvel versus DC Comics universe thing where it turns out that there's actually some big overarching bad guy and everybody has to turn around and fight him to save the world. And I don't know, do something weird like that, whatever. Nintendo. Everyone has to turn around and fight Nintendo. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But, you know.
Nintendo's the all supreme power.
Giant Mario.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone has to battle a giant Mario.
That would be epic.
Actually, no. Bring back the hand from
Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers,
stupid hand. Yes. The master hand or whatever they call it. Oh, that is epic. But yeah, that's honestly what I'm hoping for. Just more of that. And if Sony can get on the bandwagon, if even Nintendo just get on there more and just like, gosh, it just seems so cool. Yep. So that's what I'm looking forward for that is just more games, more systems, just more of everything, just playing nice together. That's it, and just be a great gamer's world there. Because there's so many times someone will be like, oh, I bought this game, and I really want to play it with you. And I'm like, sweet. And then I'm like, oh, you bought that on Steam.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. I don't. And the thing with me, I know some people, they'll buy games twice. But it's really hard for me to buy a game twice.
Yeah, and I don't want to ask people to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So...
And you know, while we're talking about this, let's get Steam in there too. Let's get Steam to crossplay with like the Windows, the Microsoft Store, and
it's
stuff
getting
like
there.
that.
It's getting there, and
I'd love to see more of that.
I think Killer Instinct is on there, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to research this. I could be wrong right now, but I know they were talking about Halo Wars,
right?
PC to PC
is
at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you bought it on the Windows 10 store and or Steam, you could play the PC versus PC, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check with Halo Wars 2 because now that you can do console to PC, I wonder if somehow Steam's involved.
They're not selling that in Steam. Halo Wars 2 is only available on the Xbox.
Why was I thinking it was in Steam? Maybe because Halo Wars Definitive Edition. That's right.
Yep.
I'll have to check that too then. Anyway, but that's what I would like to see more of. Just gamers being gamers and playing on whatever you want. So, on there. Second thing I put on here was ARM processors, which last year they announced it. This year they did the big Qualcomm thing for the ARM processors and just always connected.
It was basically like a second announcement. It was like, we're announcing it again.
And it's here, and we're calling it the Snapdragon 845. Anyway, so that was my second one. Basically, it's just more of that.
Yeah, like, just actual products in hand this time.
I'd love to see all that. So, and the third thing on my list last year was Windows Phone. It says, yes, I am wishing for a Windows Phone, a 7-inch screen surface with cellular capabilities or something. And so,
sadly,
wait, did that happen? I'm confused.
No, it didn't.
Dang it.
No.
Sorry, Wes.
I guess, how can I say this? I don't want to jump ship. I really don't because of all the stuff I have already on this. But yes, it would be easy for me to jump ship to Android. As way better to Android than Apple for obvious reasons. But what I'm hoping for is this Andromeda project that's happening. I'm hoping for something for the consumers, something, I don't know. Even if there's some bonus that's like, hey, you're still on our here. You know what? Here's the free phone. I don't know. I know that's totally extending it out there.
Free
like,
phone.
No,
Yay.
I'm just kidding.
You're the one person left using a Windows phone.
Seriously.
Here's
you
$1.
can have this. No. Okay. My wish is that this Andromeda thing can bring out something new for all of us. Whether it's the foldable hinge thing, whether it's the LTE connectivity, that's really just something that Microsoft can bring their knight from the chessboard to be like, bam, check for this 3-player chess game. That was a horrible analogy now that I thought about it. Anyway, but something to bring it up, and just so that Google and Apple can be like, that is a good idea. We need to take whatever that was and enhance it in our stuff. Like, I just want that next. Like, that's good, because I would love to see them stay in the mobile space, or I guess they're getting rid of the mobile name, but just whatever you want to call it. I would just like to see something they could bring for everybody to be like, that was good. Let's enhance that, or whatever we can do. So that's kind of my thing. And if it comes out to be a mobile device that they've partnered with with HTC or somebody that's like, hey, we're going to make all the software. You guys just make the phone because we don't want to make phones anymore, but here's this. And this is what we're thinking. Here's our patents, whatever. Make it happen. I would love to see that. And so where they're connecting everything, whatnot, I would love to see it. So that's my next thing that I wish would happen. And this is the one that I know is kind of the Hail Mary. Like, if they catch it, awesome. If not, well, okay. Because before I was telling everyone I got a new phone. I got the new Alcatel Idol 4S. With Windows 10 on it. It's been great. It's been fun. I really enjoy it. I just would hate. I bought it because I'm holding out this year to see if Microsoft does anything. It's kind of my last hope of, if you do something, then I guess I'm going to switch over to Android. If not, I switch to Android. If yes, then sweet. I'm going to go for this.
You're hoping for the equivalent of A New Hope to release this year. And if it doesn't, then next year is
guess I'm joining
jumping ship, joining the dark side,
joining the dark side,
the Empire.
Yeah, joining the green
way
little.
to put it.
Yeah. So, but that's actually what I'm hoping. Those are the same 3 things, but just better. Just like they've got it. I see Microsoft. They've got it for the first 2. Obviously, the third one, if they could just throw something else in there to bring out competition, to bring out whatever it is for the other companies, whether it is or whether it is Google, Apple, even Sony, or whoever. I just hope they can bring something to bring all of us up is what I'm wanting. So that's my wish list. So
sweet.
Caleb, why don't you tell us your wish list?
All right. So I'm going to review last year's wish list real quick. The first item on my list was upgraded Apple desktops. I had clocked that as about a 50% chance of happening.
Wow.
And I actually did all right. So Thunderbolt 3 was added to the iMac. That was something I called out specifically. The iMac Pro is an amazing piece of technology. Super excited about that. Yeah. So that was great. There's good love for the iMac line. iMac line is in great shape right now. The Mac Pro, no love yet, but they have promised love upcoming.
Yes, something is coming.
That's good.
Promised love.
No actual promises on the Mac Mini yet, but they did say the Mac Mini is an important part of our product lineup. So if that means anything, I don't know. So far, I'm about 50% right. In my prediction, I specifically called out eGPU. Like, I wanted them to release an eGPU PCI external enclosure that had Thunderbolt 3 support. They did not technically do that, but they did release better macOS support for eGPUs and external PCI enclosures. And then they released a development kit that was somebody else's external enclosure that was guaranteed support in macOS. And that has been available to developers for a while now, and the support is available there. So if you have an eGPU setup with the latest version of macOS, it actually works pretty well as long as you've got one of the supported cards that have driver support in macOS. So kind of like halfway on that one as well. So, not bad.
Hey, that wasn't bad.
I'll take it. Lots more third-party enclosures are coming, so I can live with that. The next item on my list was MacBook Lev. I had clocked this one at a 10% likelihood. This was basically just like, I want them to release a redesigned MacBook Air that's even thinner than the MacBook, and also put Thunderbolt 3 on the MacBook that I could use with that eGPU enclosure and stuff like that. That didn't happen.
No.
So that being said, the MacBook did drop in price slightly. The base configuration did drop in price. And there's now a version of it that is available with a slightly underclocked i-series chip instead of just the M-series chips from Intel. So we did get that. So I was maybe 10% right on that one as well. The next one was Johnny Ive's Perfect iPhone, which I had clocked up as a 90% likelihood. And
It kind of happened.
Pretty close. There are bezels, but they are tiny, aside from the notch. The screen is huge. Screen takes up pretty much the entire front of the device. And the more I look at it, the more I realize that notch is actually one of the most Johnny Ive things I've ever seen in a piece of industrial design, because it comes out of nowhere, doesn't seem to make sense, and it totally marks the device as extremely distinctive. Like, I saw one of these in the theater the other day, and my wife was all like, this guy's phone is confusing me because that looks like iOS, but that's not an iPhone. And I'm like, no. That's an iPhone. The notch is the new home button. That's
Wait a minute. I just had this thought. Have you guys seen Short Circuit? That old 80s robot thing?
Like once when I was 10, maybe.
Maybe this could be a funny thing, and maybe this is just my mind, but we should start calling the new iPhone Johnny 10, because that was the robot's name. Johnny 10.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that it was a Johnny. It's like Johnny 10 or Johnny.
I mean,
anyway, but oh my gosh, we should call it the Johnny 10.
It's Johnny's iPhone, and aside from the notch, it is basically all screen, and I think that's 90% to Johnny's perfect slab of glass.
Yep.
So there's no buttons on the front, and that's probably the biggest thing.
Johnny 10.
So yeah, Johnny 10. Why do I have to say this? Johnny 10.
Johnny 10.
To make Wes happy.
I'm so happy.
Anyways, I'll take it. I feel like I was pretty close on that one as well. This next one, macOS 11. I had listed that as a 0.001% likelihood, and yeah, that was accurate.
Do we need to go get a lotto ticket?
No, not with my odds, anyways. That one
0.001.
That didn't even, like, this year's edition of macOS was pretty dull. Like, there weren't even any, aside from the one major security issue,
which is
there weren't even any major bugs.
True.
Yeah, there was nothing super exciting about it, and it was kind of dull. And that was the opposite of what I was hoping for. So, good times. The other thing was perfect virtual reality. Basically this, like, give me a virtual reality solution that works on everything that I can pay $200 for, and it works on my PC and my phone and my game console, and and that was listed as a negative 30% chance of happening because it's impossible.
Yeah.
And guess what? Didn't happen. That being said,
you win.
macOS developer support for AR and VR actually is here now. We have that. And ARKit is out, which I totally did not see coming, but is cool. I'm happy about it. So for this year's wish list, okay, so this is our 2018. This is what I want to see in the next year. Upgraded Apple desktops. Yay! So we got the iMac. Awesome. I'm going to say this one's 90% like guaranteed to happen. The iMac is in a great place. We'll probably get new processors for it or something like that this year. The modular Mac Pro. We've been promised that. I want to see it. I want it to be awesome. I'm probably alone in wanting hot swappable component enclosures. So the thing is basically a series of boxes that just kind of like slot together to make a computer, so that you've got your graphics card in this box, and you know, like a whole bunch of daughter boards that all connect to a single motherboard, so that you could just buy pieces of it instead of having to buy a whole machine all at once. That's what I want. I'm, like I said, probably alone in that, but I expect something spectacular with this device. And I'm also like 90% sure that the Mac Mini will be getting an update of some sort. I'm also 90% sure that it's going to be kind of boring. It'll have like new processors in it, and like maybe a little bit more RAM or an SSD is standard or something, but that's basically it. Like that, it's not going to be an exciting update to the Mac Mini. I'm sorry. Probably the form factor will be the same. The I/O will be the same. Maybe they'll change it to Thunderbolt instead of, well, no, because the last one had Thunderbolt 2, so this one will have Thunderbolt 3. Whatever. I'm not expecting a ton from that.
It'll have one USB-C port.
Just one.
Yep.
That's all you need, really.
because that's apparently all you need according to Apple.
I mean, well, it'll have other USB ports as well. But,
Will it?
Yeah. Because they're not going to change the form factor. The back of that computer will stay the same. They'll replace the Thunderbolt 2 port with a Thunderbolt 3 port, and that'll be it.
That's probably true.
That's my prediction for the Mac Mini. So we'll see how I do on that. The next item, back to that MacBook Air I didn't get. I want an A11 powered MacBook Air. I'm like dead serious on that, and here's my reason why. The A11 is stupid overpowered for iOS. It's just dumb. Like, it does all the cool, like, facial recognition stuff, and it's needed to make that quick. Mm-hmm. But everything else about iOS is underutilizing that processor. And so, put it into a laptop, make macOS run on it. I want to see that happen, and I know that a lot of software won't support it out of the box. And I don't care. I just want to see it happen because
that would be Apple's Chromebook and
right.
Windows on ARM, competitor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This could be the thing that gets them back in the education field.
It could. Yes, you could make this thing.
iPad in education was a flop.
It kind of was, yes.
And Chromebook has kind of started to dominate that market because they are extremely usable in that sense and they're cheap.
Yep.
Not that this would be Chromebook cheap, but it would still be a dang good option.
Yeah, you could probably get it down to like $600 or $700 or something like that. And if it was running a full version of Mac OS that had at least some support from software developers, then like that would be super awesome.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is passive cooling on an A11 chip with a heatsink the size of the base of a 13-inch laptop, because it's already great on the iPad Pros. So even more space to dissipate that heat through the aluminum enclosure, especially if they could like pipe some of the heat up into the back of the monitor. That would be fantastic. And it's currently a 6-core processor. You could easily put 10 or 12 cores in there, dual process the heck out of this thing, and you still wouldn't have any heat problems with it. You'd never have to throttle. And so you could get even more power out of it than they currently have. And I want to see this happen because I kind of want, actually AMD the past year has done a pretty good job of lighting a fire under Intel's processing business. Mm-hmm. And Intel has been upping their game, but this would make them up their game even more.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be fantastic.
Because they would just see this and be like, wait, there's an Apple computer without an Intel processor? Oh,
yep. Oh, shoot. Those are all the people that are buying our $4,000 Intel Xeon W processors. So maybe we better do something about that. So, yes, I want to see that. I want them to call it the MacBook Air. I want it to be dumb thin with like an OLED panel for thinness. Something like that.
And battery.
Yes. Battery life would be amazing.
Because you combine the A11 with an OLED.
Yep.
Man,
battery would be fantastic. And then they're like patented step design for their battery, which means you can basically just slot a battery into like anywhere that there is space. You could make this laptop properly thin, and it would be still pretty powerful. I mean, obviously not like a professional level device, but at sub $1,000 prices, like pretty darn good laptop for the price. I think there's probably a 10% chance of that happening. I think something like that is definitely coming. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Okay. Next item. Price drop on the AirPods. That is like top of my wish list. I think there's actually a pretty good chance of this happening. Better than 50%, I'd say. They're probably the most well-received product in recent memory, like since the iPad that Apple has released. And $150 is maybe a tad pricey, but if they were to release like a second generation of the AirPods and then sell the first gen for $100 or $70 or something like that, holy cow, would I buy those?
Yeah.
Would I ever buy those? So,
yeah.
Just, price drop on those. That'd be nice. Thanks.
Do you think it'll happen?
With Bluetooth 5 being as big as it is getting, I could see them making an updated version with Bluetooth 5.
Right.
And then have these ones discounted.
Yeah.
Because,
there you go.
Even though they work similarly to Bluetooth 5 as is with the W1 chip
right.
on an iPhone.
Bluetooth 5 would be a little bit better.
Bluetooth 5 would make it even better on non-iPhones.
Yep. So I think that, releasing a new version of the AirPods is pretty much guaranteed to happen. Whether or not they keep making the original version of the AirPods, that's maybe a 50% chance. But they did it with the Apple Watch. They released the Series 2 and kept selling the Series 1 for less money. So I'm hoping.
There you go.
And while we're at it, a price drop on Johnny's perfect iPhone would also be fantastic.
Johnny 10.
The Johnny 10. Rumors kind of point in this direction of us getting a basically identical version to the other two OLED versions that just has an LCD panel in it and is maybe a little bit thicker, but is the same general design and has all the same features. And if that's the only difference, that would be fantastic. Just have that one start at like $650 or something like that. We're good to go. I'm hoping that happens. I think there's a pretty good chance of that happening. The fact that we're already hearing rumors about it is, means that there's a good indication that we're going to be seeing something like that. And my final item for my wish list, Mac OS 11. So I've got that one listed as a 0.0001% chance of happening. But none of my reasons for wanting that have changed since last year, and I'm going to ride that pony until it comes out. So,
as you should.
There you go.
Be a good pony to ride on. Sweet.
It's a unicorn.
Now.
Probably.
Yes. Now, everybody, are you ready? We saved the best for last.
No,
Drum roll. Landon. Let's have your wish list.
I don't know about best for last, but we're here.
Trying to hype him up, and what does he do? Shoot me down.
It happens.
Every day.
Anyways, my wish list for last year, first one I wanted was better wearables. And I gave this maybe 30% is what I said. And I think that's probably accurate. Because, I mean, what I was hoping for was cheaper better wearables for cheaper prices. That definitely didn't happen, and I blamed this not happening on Apple, and that's why it happened, because the Apple Watch is expensive.
Yeah.
And that was like, that just gave any Android Wear makers like, oh, well, they're charging this much. We can do that minus $100 and still, make a lot of money. That's what they did. And that sucks.
And they made a lot of money.
They're still really expensive. And unfortunately, most wearables are not any better in most cases. There are some the Apple Watch has gotten significantly better since the first iteration, and Series 3 would probably be the most tempting for me to buy, minus the LTE, because I still don't see a viable reason for me to pay an extra $10 a month for a watch, because that's just dumb.
Yeah.
Anyways,
stupid watch.
But that's gotten a lot better. Samsung has gotten a lot better with their wearables. The Gear Sport and the Gear S3, I think that's what they're on now. Anyways, their newest watch offerings are really good, and they work with more devices than just Samsung and iPhone. So that's nice. And, it has gotten a little better in the market, but not great. And they're definitely not cheaper, unfortunately. So that was on there for last year. And, yeah, it didn't happen as much as I wanted it to be. Whatever. It's whatever. Wearables, I still don't think anybody really knows what needs to be in a wearable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Hopefully it'll get better. My next one was more usability from Chrome OS. And I gave this a 40% chance. And I'd say that's about right, 40%.
Yeah.
Because they put Android apps onto Chrome OS, and that's definitely made it more usable. And it's gotten a lot more popular, and because of that, they're putting a lot more focus onto their Chromebooks, and other companies are making better Chromebooks. Samsung made ones with an i5 processor. So that in and of itself is proof that it's getting better. And Google came out with the Pixel Book that is ridiculously expensive, but, has really, really good hardware. And so seeing that they're putting more focus on this is a good sign. But it's still not quite where I wanted. I want something that's basically like a full desktop experience running Chrome OS. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, and that's what I even mentioned last year. I didn't see that happening. I don't see it happening this year, but that would be nice.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's why it's called a wish list.
A wish list, yes. The next thing that I wanted... this definitely,
he laughs.
Definitely didn't happen. And I put a high percent. Okay, it was USB-C on the next iPhone.
Bummer.
I put a 90% chance.
Yeah.
And the reasoning behind that, and I even said that most people would probably think that was high, and it kind of was. Now, in retrospect, obviously it was very high.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at all.
And the reasoning I gave that high of a percentage was because of the MacBooks. They only had USB-C.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, well, if they're going all out on USB-C on their computers, obviously they're going to do that on the phone. I was horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't think you were the only
And
one
we're
that was
all
wrong.
still a little confused as to why they didn't.
Because, I mean, Lightning is definitely better than what micro USB offered. I will give them that. It was whole lot better.
For sure.
But when you look at the advantages to USB-C over Lightning, that's an even bigger jump from Lightning to USB-C or to micro USB.
It already supports a lot of the same things that they would like to integrate into Lightning over the next couple of years, and it's a standard. Like, everyone can use it.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense to wish for that on the next iPhone.
And I had selfish reasonings behind wanting that because, I mean, obviously I wasn't at that time planning on buying a new iPhone. I'm not planning on buying a new iPhone right now. I wanted it because once Apple does something like that, accessory makers be like, oh, I need to do something for that.
Yes.
And that would have benefited me because my phone is USB-C.
Yep.
Most Android phones are USB-C. Most Windows phones are USB-C.
Yay!
Something Windows Phone has over iPhone. Weird.
Yep.
I guess I should ride that one till they do. I have USB-C browsers.
That's the one thing you have on top of iPhone.
I have apps.
But I mean...
You know what? No. I have the basic apps, and they're still supporting it. I actually got a full-on Facebook update, app update.
Facebook has more time and money than they know what to do with, I think.
This is true. But like all the main apps that's not just Microsoft, but like Hulu, Twitter, like...
I was going to say, the ones that aren't just Microsoft are probably better supported than the ones that are.
You have no idea.
Except for YouTube.
Actually, we got a YouTube app.
Not an official one.
Yeah, and it actually went to Xbox. It's huge. It's the 4K. Like, they went all out.
Wow.
They gave a YouTube app.
On Windows Phone.
And the Xbox and Windows. Windows 10 PC, I believe. Is it on the PC? I can't remember if they said it, but it actually updated on my Xbox. It was like, YouTube. I'm like, oh.
Well, and you're doing better than Amazon, so that's good.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
It's a low bar.
Anyways, so as we know, USB-C is not on the new iPhone. I was really, especially the 10.
Yeah.
Like, I could justify the 8.
Yeah, put it on the
8 Plus
8.
not having it.
The Johnny 10, if you will, please.
But the iPhone 10, for some reason, still didn't have you. And I think the reason they didn't do it is because they want a portless iPhone. And why get something new if we're just going to take it off in 2 years?
Yeah, that's entirely
possible.
possible.
That's the only reason I could see why they didn't do it. That's my thinking.
Yeah, a portless iPhone. Oh my
Because
gosh.
now that they have the inductive charging,
all of my chargers.
No, you just got to buy wireless inductive chargers.
Well, I know, but like, I'd have to buy more. Like, because I have a charger at work. I have a charger, like 3 chargers at home in various places where I need them.
Yeah.
One in my car. My gosh, my car! Dang it!
Well,
you would have had to do that if it was USB-C either way.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that's true.
And Apple is known for
doing stuff like
making you buy crap that you didn't want to buy before anyways.
Yep.
So.
Thanks, Apple.
MO.
At
30
premium prices.
Typically, yeah. Of course, if they just move everything to wireless charging, there actually are a bunch of wireless chargers already out there. So
yeah there you go.
You don't necessarily have to
decent
pay a
ones
premium
out there
for
too.
those.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they introduce a proprietary port, and then you have to pay them for whatever because they're the only ones making stuff.
Yeah, from the 30-pin connector to the Lightning.
Yep.
That sucked.
Yeah. That said, I mean, Lightning, so much better.
True.
So,
true.
Not going to complain about that one. Still a little bummed about USB-C.
Yeah, I think most people
We'll see
are.
where that goes.
The next thing that I put on... this was a good one. I put Google Glass or something like it. And my likelihood was, nope, minus 500%.
Hey, that was a good guess.
That was a very good guess. And what I was hoping for was something like I didn't even need exactly Google Glass. I just wanted something that kind of combined that, kind of like what Microsoft is doing with their mixed reality stuff, only smaller and more consumer friendly, kind of like Google Glass.
Yeah.
So that's what I was really hoping for.
Too.
Yeah, much like more portable, not like a giant headset that makes you look like a retard.
Yeah.
I wanted something like, cause especially all of us, we wear glasses.
Yep.
And so I wanted something that looked, I mean, obviously it would look like you have something besides just regular glasses on, but something that didn't draw too much attention to you, that was a heads-up display type thing, And I think
cool.
we're getting closer, but it's far off.
The closest you got was AR Kit and AR Core.
Yeah.
And that's not quite. But
No. We got stickers.
Doesn't quite
work.
I got a Thomas the Train game that lets me put a train set on my table.
You can walk forward. You can put a stormtrooper in front and then walk around him.
I did it with an AT-AT. I was walking around an AT-AT, and that was kind of fun. Nice. It starts shooting at you, which is really cool.
Beep, beep, beep.
I love it. Yeah. So that was my wish list for last year. The wish list for this year is not 100% the same, but I don't know.
I don't know.
There's so many things. There's so many things that I want. It's just, I will say I do want more usability in Chrome. I will again go with that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a higher percent chance of it happening this year. I will give it 50%. And that's, again, unfortunately, it's down to developers at this point. Now that Google has done what they can by adding Android support to that, it's up to developers to
make their Android apps
work well on Chrome OS. And I've seen there are some cases where that has happened. I mean, you look at what Apple has done with the iPad and made those apps.
Yeah.
Like, developers are making those apps a lot more better for that type of device. It's just a matter of basically porting that app over to Android. And Adobe has done this with Photoshop. The iPad app and the Android app can do pretty powerful things. I mean, it's still not up to par with the desktop version of Photoshop, but it's not meant to be, and it'll be a while before it is.
Well, to be fair, you can get third-party options that are up to par with desktop versions
you definitely
like Photoshop and stuff like that.
And that's probably where it's going to happen. Yeah. These third-party developers that you haven't heard of are going to make apps that work just as well or better than these big name apps. So like I said, I give that a 50% chance of Chrome OS being more usable for like a professional type use. I see it happening the same way that the iPad can be used for some professional use. Right. Like Caleb can use it for drawing and stuff like that really well.
And it's got a lot of like general productivity uses and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, and Chrome OS already has a lot of that productivity use built in because of what it is.
Right.
Because it's got Google Drive built in and all that stuff. So that's already there. It's just a matter of getting the apps now. And unfortunately, again, that boils down to developers doing something about it. So as long as they do, then we're good.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll happen. The next thing that I would like to see is a Pixel phone. I'm trying to think of how to word this. Because, I mean, the Pixel phones have good hardware, but I want better? I don't know. That's something I've always noticed about Android phones in general. Like the iPhone, the hardware on it, it feels good. I don't know what it is. It feels solid. I hold an iPhone without a case, and I don't feel like if I drop it, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
It just feels solid,
Mm-hmm.
And most Android phones, even if they're all aluminum, the same type of thing that the iPhone has, for some reason, it doesn't have that same I don't feel as comfortable, I guess.
Right.
Holding it without a case.
It's not quite as premium feeling.
Yeah. Like there are some, I mean, HTC has done a dang good job of it. Samsung's gotten a lot better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, my phone, the first generation Pixel, I think is one of the better ones too, because it's made by HTC. But I think like that would be the one thing that would probably make me want or make me feel more comfortable having a phone outside of a case, because I really want to have my phone not in a case, but I just don't feel comfortable enough to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see what you're saying. Like,
So
yeah,
that would be something I kind of wish for. I'd give that, I'd say a 70 to 80% chance on that one, just because Google is getting a lot better with their hardware. They're learning things. It's a learning curve. They have to do it for a couple of years to really get that. And it's the same thing with the iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, it took a couple of years for it to really settle into what it's been.
The first edition had the most scratch-prone back of
Oh
any
my
phone in the
gosh.
history of ever.
Even more than the jet black one.
And the second edition had plastic like all over it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
they're getting
Yeah,
there.
it
takes a
takes a
minute.
couple of years.
And then the iPhone 4 happened, and everyone was
And that
like,
was awesome.
that's it right there. You
Yeah.
hit it.
iPhone 4 is still one of my favorite
Oh, it's a great phone.
iPhones.
To hold one of those things in the hand, it still feels like a premium smartphone.
Yeah.
It's small, but other than that, it's
That's
like
an old
it's
phone.
a great phone. Yep.
Yeah. The last little bit that I'm going to talk about here is Google made silicon in their phones.
Yeah.
And they made that step this year out of nowhere with the Pixel Visual Core inside the Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL, where it's a chip specifically designed and made by Google to do something that they want it to do, where they're not relying on Qualcomm to hopefully put something that'll work with their operating system. This is designed for it to work.
Yep.
Now, this is obviously specific to the camera and certain APIs along that, but it's a step in the right direction. Basically what I want is an iPhone made by Google.
And honestly, that's not a bad wish. a
No,
bad want.
it really
Like,
isn't. I mean, if you think about it, if they do that, they don't have to rely on anybody. That's Apple.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion, the biggest benefit to the iPhone. They don't have to rely on a single person other than themselves
Well,
to make things work. Well,
they've got a few pieces, but they're trying to get rid of them as quickly as possible.
But I
Yeah.
mean, when it comes to like updating or getting it on certain
Yes.
like carriers, they don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Like they don't have to. They can just push out updates whenever they want, and it'll just work. And
Yep.
they don't have to worry about fragmentation with operating system. You know, all this stupid crap that Android always has to worry
Yeah.
about.
Well, in fact, and they've also proved that if they release a version of an operating system that has massive security holes in it,
They can fix it.
they can push those updates out within a day,
Yeah.
whether or not the people who have that version even know that it's an issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, yeah, it's like terrible, like stupid Apple that even happened, but nobody else could have fixed it so quickly or so thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the best thing anyone could wish for, to be honest. Like, that's on that platform or any platform other than Apple, obviously. But to wish for that, just keep wishing for it. Don't let them lose that.
No,
Yeah,
we want them to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, it works well.
Yeah.
So, no,
No,
that's
I give this about a 30% chance. I don't see Google going away from Qualcomm this year or even next year for that matter. Especially, I mean, Qualcomm's done a lot that is helping in this problem that Google has. I mean, the 845 is going to be ridiculous in a phone, I think.
yeah.
I mean, the fact that it is going to be in computers this next year is already
have that on a phone. Oh.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. And the things that Qualcomm is putting into their chips is above and beyond what most mobile operating systems can handle anyways. So, you know, like I said, I don't see it happening this year or even next year, but I do see them doing more kind of similar things to the Pixel Visual Core type thing,
Yeah.
where they're going to have separate chips that do specific things inside of their phone. So that's why I give it a 30% chance. I don't think the whole SoC is going to be different, but just little things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to give them time because Apple has spent years building up their silicon team. Like,
Exactly.
You know, poaching talent from the best out there from Qualcomm and Intel and AMD.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my wish list for this year.
Awesome.
Better Chrome OS, better hardware, and Google specific silicon. So
awesome. Well, guys, these are great wishes, I think, from all of us and what we want to see. Because number one that I see, it's just going to make all the rest of the companies or anyone just step up to the plate and do something else, which is great for the consumer for us. So I think it's going to be good. Well, everyone, I think that's everything, and I hope you enjoy this little wish list episode that we put out. And have a good one.
Happy New Year.
See ya.